I'm sorry you did not have a response sooner to your email of the 1st of June. Well, that's only a month after all. I cannot send you a copy of the exempt report. That's the one that announced the closures of all your buildings, which is confidential, and we're not allowed to see it. You're not allowed to see it. I, as your MP, am not allowed to see it. But the following includes the details from the exempt report of the premises currently occupied by voluntary groups and community organisations. Number 1, former Wormholt Library, Hemlock Road. The report said the Wormholt Community Centre occupies part of the premises under a lease which expires in August 2007. The highest offers for the property are likely to be made subject to planning for residential redevelopment. It is therefore unlikely that a disposal will be completed in 2007-8. And I can tell you that is not the sort of residential property that was being built under a Labour council. That's going to be £1 million homes on the site. Anyone wants to put in a bid for them, please go ahead. However, it became clear from communications with Councillor Ahern that the Wormholt TRA have not had adequate opportunity to consider the alternative premises that they might be offered when their current lease comes to an end. I don't know what alternative premises they are. Councillor Lillis has therefore agreed the current lease be extended for a further 6 months to the end of February 2008. That tells us two things. Number 1, they're going to sell it at the end of those 6 months, because that's what they're saying. They're going to extend it and then sell it, so that's the intention. And number 2, the only reason they're doing it is that they couldn't sell it this year anyway, and so they think, well, why not? Well, it's a small victory, but it shows that we're only part of the way there. That's Wormholt. Number 2, 12 to 14 Letchford Gardens, better known as the College Park Community Centre. The report said the premises are occupied by College Park Community Centre. Should the premises be vacated when their lease expires in August, it should be possible to complete the sale in 2007-8. Children's Services are discussing with College Park Tenants and Residents Association the possibilities of alternative premises. Kenmont Primary School has indicated they could probably host much of the activity on the school premises. Well, we know that they've said the exact opposite to that. 59 Godolphin Road, better known as the Hut Association and others. The report said the premises are occupied by the Hut Association. If the premises are vacated in August, it should be possible to complete the sale in 2007-8. Jill Sewell is due to meet with the Hut Association next week, that's this coming week, and at the meeting we'll discuss the whole future of the Hut Association. Well, it doesn't appear to me the Hut Association has much future if they've sold the premises. As somebody told me earlier on, it's taken 18 years to build up the organisations in there. It then goes on, 2 other organisations it mentions, one that Amanda, who's the chair, will know, Mind, mental health charity occupying High Master's House in Hammersmith Road, and the Hammersmith Carers in 182 Hammersmith Road. And all it says about those is there are 2 other voluntary organisations whose premises are referred in the report, although no concerns have been raised about these. Well, I think that's a surprise, a slight surprise to you. The Mind still have nowhere to go at the moment, and also, like many other organisations here, have had their grant cut. And the theory goes, if you don't have a grant, you can't do anything, so you don't need anywhere to do it. There's then a list of 6 other premises they're selling off. And the final comment, the Council is considering the future of other property holdings, and other recommendations for disposal will be made in due course. And what we know about that is for next year and the year after, there's a similar sum of between 10 and 15 million pounds that they seek to raise by the sale of other community buildings. And the ones that we believe they're looking at the moment, Shepherd's Bush Advice Centre in the Uxbridge Road, Shepherd's Bush Village Hall, which we all know on the corner of Bulwer Street, and quite possibly, which houses about 30 voluntary organisations, Pallanswick House, which is just down here, which the lease has just expired on also. I don't know if that's true, and I don't want to scare people unnecessarily, but I think my attitude on this, as on everything else they're doing, on the school closures and the voluntary sector cuts and everything else that they're doing here, my attitude is you don't wait and see what they're going to do, you find out, you protest, and you stop it. Because they stopped them closing Hurlingham and Chelsea School, they've stopped them cutting the services to elderly people by cutting the home help service and by putting up charges and by giving the service to fewer people so far. And we know all they'll do is go away and try and do it some other way. So we have to fight every single step of the way. Now I know, it's fantastic that people have turned out tonight, and there's a lot of elderly people here, and I'm sure there are better things you'd like to be doing, we'd all like to be doing, than being here. But what it shows is that you really care about these organisations, these buildings, and what goes on in them. It's not the building, it's what goes on in there that you've built up over decades sometimes. And it's not just the fact that they say they want to sell it, it's why they want to sell it. They want to sell it simply to raise money to pay off debt. Well, I don't mind them paying off debt, but why should they pay it off at the cost of selling these buildings? Because in the end it costs them more money. The facilities, the services that are provided in these buildings save the council and the local community here millions of pounds a year. If kids don't have things to do, if people don't have places to go, there's a cost to that, and these idiots don't seem to realise that. So, at the end of the day, this is all stopped by people power. Unfortunately, my Labour colleagues, only 13 of them to 33, you'll hear them speak. I hope people can go in at 7 o'clock and listen to the debate tonight. And Wesley on behalf of College Park, and Mercy on behalf of the Hut, and Colin on behalf of Wormholt, and no doubt others as well, will speak up on your behalf. But at the end, they won't win the vote, but there's more of them, there are of us. The answer actually lies in your hands, because the one thing they care about in the end is votes. The one thing they care about is not getting a reputation. These people are getting a national reputation for evil, let alone a local reputation. And so don't think that what you're doing isn't counting. Every person who turns up, and every time you have to turn up, and there's already some good old stages, we've been to about 5 of these here, it really hurts them, it really counts. They're not nice people, they don't want to listen, but in the end they will be forced to listen. We'll either catch them out, or we'll persuade them, or we'll pressurise them. So I just want to say, I will do everything I can to help, and I hope it helps, but the answer lies with you. Thank you so much for doing all this. And I was at council here for 20 years. I did everything I could to try and protect and build up these services, and it really pains me to see them being destroyed. I wish sometimes I was an MP somewhere else, but it's very hard to see the things that you cherished and you tried to build up over the years destroyed in a completely arbitrary and callous way without even consulting the people who use them. So thank you for your support, and in return my colleagues will try and give you their support. Thanks for coming tonight, but tonight is just the start of it. Don't give up the fight. Well done.